Today, we're covering a few little tips, a few little gems, a few little treats that you can use in your business. We are live on TikTok. We are here with Facebook, dropping cameras, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok all in the same time, which is good. Just get this final camera. Look at this classic old Samsung that's being used for Insta. Don't believe the hype when people tell you that you've got to have all these cool gadgets and gizmos. It really is about being out there, and too many people genuinely delay getting started for exactly that reason. And that's why people don't get started. And I completely deleted the title. And for anyone out there, I had someone the other day going, oh my God, it's not bad professional sometimes with you. And I'm like, I'm all right with that. Like, I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be effective at what we do. And often there's going to be a blend on this. I'm trying to work out how I did this yesterday. Maybe we can just stand you up. Right, let's try that one there. Okay, that actually works all right. You're with us. Hang on. I'm now just trying to get the other three on board. Whenever you see these big companies do all this, I'm like, you definitely got a tick. And a nightmare today, people, with cameras. So LinkedIn, YouTube, there you go. You're back, people. You're back, you're back, you're back. Anyone who's loving this absolute car crash. Right, there we go. We're back on. Right, so now we're here. You're here? You're here. Right, so we can get on with this and start having a bit of a chat. So welcome. The whole idea about today is we're talking about 5 ways you can get more sales within your business. That's the plan. I was going to use this, but look, as soon as you put anything on it, it bent over and broke. That's not helpful. So we're here with TikTok. Hey, TikTok, good to see you. TikTok, you can't DM me, but if you want anything, we've got loads of free trainings. Go to the link in the bio, go to the Insta, or hit the link tree. There's so much free stuff that we've got to help you move your business forward. Instagram, good to see you this morning. Why is that frozen? YouTube, LinkedIn, and all that jazz. Good to see you here. The idea behind today, we're going to be here, trying to be here every day, really client dependent. We had a client which postponed till Friday, so it's giving me a bit of a space. We're going to be about 20 minutes, half an hour. And the aim with this is to try and give you a little bit of an idea of some of the strategies that we've been using with our clients so that you can go off and do this within your business. So whether you're a coach, consultant, agency, whether you've got a sales team, whether you've got a business, to be completely and utterly real with you, a lot of the stuff that we're doing, you can transfer within your business, because a lot of it, some of it's mindset, some of it's skill set, but the majority are just actionable things that you can go off within your business and actually do. And it doesn't work if you don't do the work. Just as a crazy little notion. A lot of people are always talking to me about how easy is it to get this stuff done. Learning the knowledge is the easy part. Going off and actually putting it into practice, getting it into an actionable state for you can be the tough part. This isn't meant to always be easy, but what we have today on this little high-tech bit of equipment, this is a notepad and a pen, are 5 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each one have got between 2 and 6 categories below it. So by the end of this, you can go off and either action 1 or 2 of these things, action them all, and get your business moving in a little bit better way. If you're watching this live, put in #live. The majority of people seem to be watching this on replay. If that's the case, hit replay for me. If you're on the live now and you want to share it out to some other people within your network that think this could be of use, I appreciate it. Or if you're just here to try and grab the secrets and screw everyone else, that's up to you too. But ideally, I'd like you to share it out to some other people. So LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Insta, wherever you are with your business right now, you want to take it to that next level. Too many people think about the next big project, the next big product. And we end up with all these whiteboards of things like this when you start looking into how to do loads of different things in one go. And it's not necessarily what you need. I've got so many clients that we do so many things with that end up with just reams of paper with different stuff off the back of it. Again, that's not necessarily what you actually need. For the vast majority of business owners, you need to take effective steps within your business to get better at what you do. Whether that's you're on a phone call, whether that's a face-to-face meeting, whether that's for prospecting, whether that's your messaging, whether that's your LinkedIn, whatever it might be, there's another level than where you are right now. So if I talk about something you've heard of before, I want you just to stop. I want you to stop. How can I put this nicely? Too often, I will talk about something and someone will go, oh yeah, I know that, right? I've heard that before. Oh yeah, I know that. Here's the problem that I want you guys to address. Instead of saying, oh yeah, I know that, I want you to think, am I doing that? Are you doing the very thing, whether you're on TikTok, Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube? If you hear me talk about something or anyone else, I want you to ask, are you actually doing this? And if you are doing it, how can I get more effective at doing that thing? Too many people are yellow belts and they're pretending they're black belts just because you've had a fight and won. Even a blind pig will find some corn. And what I mean by that, even if you are no good at what you do, you will get clients come in. The problem is we started a place in our business where it's a scramble to get those first clients, right? You get those first clients and then we suddenly start going, cracked it. I've had my first 10K month. I made my first 20 grand. We've got 100K turnover. But what we don't end up having is reliable, predictable income sources, whether from marketing, prospecting, lead generation, sales, selling, upsells, wherever it is, but you're not at a high enough level that it delivers consistently. And that's what I want to cover on these 5 for you today. So 5 quick tips that we're going to fire in, fire out, and then I've got to go off and get on to other client calls today. There's no upsell here. I'm not going to pitch you to jump in and buy my product or my service. Anyone who does want in it, the next stage for you before you'd even talk to one of us typically is to go off and do one of our free trainings. And the reason being, I'm not trying to get as many clients on as I can. I'm trying to get people to be ignited within their business. If you're feeling flat, you're feeling frustrated, or you're not getting the results you want, I want you to reignite that through our free training before you've even handed a penny over, so that when you move into a paid program, you're going to have more momentum, more belief, more strategy, and you're going to hit things better. Too many people will get you into their program, into their idea, where they'll get on a call, they'll talk to you for 20 minutes, you'll buy the product, and then you're almost flustered. The idea behind these lives, I want to give you some of those little bits, those little snacks, your little starter, a little taster that you can savor on and utilize within the business so that you can move forward. So whether Insta, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you are, I really want you to take on board this. So first lesson is this. When you hear something that you've heard before, and don't just say, I already know that. I want you to think, am I actually doing that to an effective level? Here's the secret. You can tell if it's effective by the results. And I mean that. The data doesn't lie. Now, think of it like a football team. Could they go out and play perfectly and still lose? Yes. Could they go out and play perfectly all season and lose every game? No. Because if you do the right processes in the right way over time, you will succeed. The problem is we sort of bring the fire on one day and we half do it on another day. And this way we do this and this day we do that. And then we end up losing people because we're always changing what we're doing. We're always hunting round for the next big thing, the next golden bullet, the next super fantastic thing that's going to save all my time and let me live on a beach and do nothing for the rest of my life. Realistically, most people don't get that. They just don't. There's a degree of sacrifice that comes from it. What actually happens, and here's the harsh truth, most people have a slow start, they get a bit of success, it takes the pressure off, and then they stop learning. Think of it like swimming. Imagine if we all get in the sea now, and we go for a swim. And we're like, oh my God, let's swim over to the island. It's going to be so fun. So we go out and we start swimming. That's you and your business starts. Then what happens? You start getting tired, right? And then you start going, shit, I don't even know if we can make this. So now you're not thinking about the destination. You're not thinking about where you're trying to go. What you're doing at that point is just trying to survive. So now you're just treading water in your life, just trying to get through it. Here's the big problem in your business. If you spend all your time treading water, all you're trying to do is survive. So the second a client starts with you, the second you get a new deal in, the second you get that 10K, you go, oh my God, that's it. I'm all right. I'm not drowning anymore. But you weren't here to drown. Or you weren't here just to survive. You were here to thrive. You set up this business, you set up this idea, this program, this structure, took on this sales team, whatever it is, for you in your business to achieve something, not just to survive and just to get by. And the problem is, and I was guilty of this for years, I would really feast and famine. And that's not the way to live your life within your business. So as soon as you get a bit of a result, don't just stop. I want you to keep moving forward with your businesses. This isn't about you working with me. This is just in general. Last year, I hired 9 different experts. 9. And each one were in areas of things that I was already doing, whether that was with Instagram, whether it was with this, and whether it was with that. And it was a person for speaking, it was a person for this. So many different areas. Because I knew there was another step I can get to, and another ledge, and another step. I just signed up today. There's a lady on LinkedIn, Leah Turner, absolutely crushed it on there. So I went, might as well give it a go. And we've got to start thinking a little bit more on what do they know that I don't, instead of, oh yeah, I'm on the same level. Even if you're on the same level of someone, you have to realize that you could be on the same level of someone, but their experiences in life would have been in a different way, which means they're going to see things slightly differently. And that could be the magic that you're missing. Okay. Just ranted for 13 minutes. So we might as well hop straight into it. Okay. So number 1. Let's drop the lid. Whatever you're selling, whatever your product, whatever your business, whatever your marketing, I want you to erase the memory of everything you know about your business. You can't. I want you to try and think of it. And I want you to look at, in a clear and concise way, if I was looking at my business right now with fresh eyes, how clear is it of what I do, who I do it for, and what the result is? And I want you to understand, whatever you feel the clarity is around your business, there is very much likely a way that you can get a higher level of clarity and take it to the next level. And I want us to think about how can we change the narrative of what we do so that people can understand it in a far better way, so they will be more inclined to buy your product or service. And when you can work on the offer, and here's some of the areas you can look at. If I'm talking about my offer, there is an element of risk. Just letting you know. When someone buys your product or service, it could be rubbish. And I'm not saying that your product's rubbish. I'm saying that someone who hasn't bought your product, they don't know you, they haven't trusted you before, there's an element of risk for them. Is it going to work? Are we going to be able to understand it? Is it going to fit in with the team? Is it going to work with our culture? Is it going to be in line with the way we do things? Am I going to use it to the potential? Do I need to go up? Right. There's so many parts of it. But if any of those are too high, they see it as an elevated risk, which means the likelihood of success is reduced and the resistance is going to be increased. So what I want you to think about is when someone looks at your product or service, whether it's justified or not, whether they're completely wrong, doesn't matter. How can you change the way it is narrated so where they feel more aligned with what you do? That's going to reduce the risk and it's going to increase the flow on your product. Think of it like this. There's going to be people out there that have seen your product or service before. They liked it, they didn't love it. That's not necessarily your fault, but it's your responsibility to work out how you can change what is currently being narrated, how it's currently being laid out, what is currently going on with it to a better level so that you can reduce the risk. Maybe it's the flip side. Excuse me. That you're going to increase the reward, the benefit, the result. Make that clearer. You might decide that actually we could change that so the way it's worded actually rings more true to the result they get, not just the loose guided benefit. Next up, how can you increase the narration of the likelihood of success? So when someone looks at your product, do they feel that's impossible? Do they feel that's not going to work for me? Do they feel like that's a given? I'm going to achieve X with that service. I'll be able to do this if I do that. I'll go and buy a drill and I will have confidence that it's not going to burn out or be rubbish, right? You want to buy a sofa and you worry if it's going to last longer, if it's going to be comfortable after 2 months. You've got a internet marketing agency and they wonder, are they going to get long-term results? Is it going to be good value for money? How can you, in the way you market your product, increase the likelihood of success? It's a simple question. Next, talking 5 different areas. 5 different areas today. How can you become more known? What could you do today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, that when you get off of this live, or if you're watching the recording back, and I appreciate you all, how can you become more known today? Here's a secret. Kidnap other people's audiences. Not as in go off and kidnap people, but if you've got people that are competitors of yours in your industry, your peers, people you look up to, however it is, and they've already got an established audience, they are exactly who you're looking for. Let's think of it like this. Imagine you do similar to Tony Robbins, right? You're just starting out in business, you've got experience, and now you've gone on your own. To hire Tony Robbins is going to be an astonishingly high fee, and that is the barrier for most people. So they've got a problem, they have a pain point, they have a need for exactly what you have. The person they're looking to hire is completely and utterly outside of their price bracket. This is a perfect opportunity for you to add value to their lives. By them following that page and commenting on that page, they're talking to their ideal person that they would hire. And the likelihood is they can't hire them because they can't work one-on-one. Prime example. So you could kidnap someone else's audience. You can go and utilize someone else's audience. Or You could go out and start doing interviews with people that are already out there at the next level above from you, which is going to get you in front of their audience, where they get to know, like, and trust you, to increase the trust that they have in you and become more known. No one can buy off you if they don't know you. We set up these businesses, and because they're online, we're expecting people just to knock on the door and be like, oh, okay, I see you do this. We want to buy your product. Just because you have a passion and a drive and a belief around your product and service, it doesn't mean that people are going to throw their money at you. They still need to be wooed into that moment. They still need to be won over. They still need to be impressed. They still have risks, causes, and concerns that they're going to hold them back. And it's really important you work out how to do that in the most effective way. And with social media, you have all of these tools and gadgets and gizmos. Look at what we're doing right now. You're sat watching this, whether on live or whether it's on the replay. And by being here and watching this, you're either going to move closer to wanting to work with me or further away. And either's completely fine, because we're on TikTok, thanks for being here, Instagram, thanks for being here, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, thank you all for being here. And if you were at the stage where you moved further towards it and you went, I wonder what his free trainings are like, and you now take action and you go to closedealstoday.com and you take action, this live helped us do that. And if you don't have an audience, by utilizing someone else's audience, it becomes far easier. Okay, number 3. How can you improve the dialogue that you have with people? The way you explain things now is likely because that's the way that you like to buy. Here's the big thing you've got. Not everyone's the same. And I'll give you a really clear, a simple example. On Saturday, my boy's in a swimming lesson. We're sat outside enjoying the sun, and you can see through the glass and we're watching him. My daughter's with me, who does similar lessons in the same place at a different time. She said, should we leave him to it? Because I think it's distracting him. Now, that's because she doesn't like people to sit and watch her, because she's always looking around. So she knows she becomes, she loses concentration. So she doesn't pay full attention. So she doesn't do it fully. So she's happier to not have people watch all the time. My boy is completely different. He vibes on it. He vibes on the attention. When people are watching him, he focuses harder. Now think about your business. Which side of the fence would you be on? If that's the same for 2 kids with swimming, think about the dialogue around what happens with your products. You could be saying it one way, but the vast majority of your buyers might like it in another way. So I want you to think about, how could you reword the dialogue, your introductory messages, your offers, to be more concise around the avatar that you have right now? So I want you to work on that. Next up, final 2 things before we head out. Number 4, think about your products and your pricing. Work out the way that you're trying to market your product. A prime example of this is something called a halo product. Think about if you go to Porsche and you walk in and you're going to buy a 911, they're £100,000, and you go, oh my God, that's so expensive. Now you walk into another Porsche and they've got a Porsche Carrera GT for £875,000. You go, oh my God, that's so expensive. Because there's something there at such a high amount, the 100,000 might not be affordable for you, but it's going to feel far less expensive compared to an £800,000, because now your barrier is so much higher. And what I want you to think about is, when you're selling a product and a service, how are you having people judge the value or the cost of your product? Are you comparing it to competitors? Are you comparing it to more expensive products? Are you comparing it to different results? Are you comparing it to accessibility? And I want you to think about, when you're trying to get your business to the next level, how can you do that in the most effective way in the shortest amount of time with the best dialogue? Okay. Right. Next one. Imagine for the moment you're going to go into someone else's business, right? I feel like I've got a spider on me today. Imagine you're going to go to someone else's business. Do you think there's a chance that you might spot a blind spot within their business? Something that they do. And you sit there all day in their shop or wherever it is, or listen to them, and you listen to them all day. Do you think there's a chance that you might hear or see something that could be done in a different way? If you think yes, now imagine if someone else did that in your business. Now what you've got to try and work out to do is how can you take yourself emotionally out of that situation, away from the emotion of what you've built and the time it took you, and be able to look at it with a fresh set of eyes. How can you look and find the blind spots? Now, there's a couple of things you can do. One, go and surf your competitors. Go and find out what they're doing, how they're doing it, understand why they're doing it in the way they are, and that can give you an idea of options that are out there. Working out whether it's they're doing automations, whether they've got links, whether there's blocks that actually happen in the resistance process by not being as fluid as you could. All of these make a dramatic difference, and it's really, really important to work it out. This is a brief one because we've got a call. A message just come through. I have to call a client back in 4 minutes. Part of our Batman service, and that's what we call it in-house, means that when our big clients call, if we don't have anything as another client call, we drop what we're doing to go over to them because we want to impact our clients as quick as we can. So if you do want to carry on this, all you need to do is go off to closedealstoday.com, jump yourself in there, literally add your email address, and you can watch a 32-minute masterclass. And we will be back. Won't be tomorrow because I'm at an event, but we'll be back on Thursday again. All right. So go and have a great day. TikTok, it's been great to have you in. We'll see you later. LinkedIn, everyone out there, Facebook and YouTube, thank you for coming.